Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today, I'm once again answering some of your questions, such as, is the Tissot PRX actually a piece of crap? What's the most beautiful watch movement I've ever seen? And what do I think of Zodiac? All that and more in today's episode. Now, of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing my Breguet Marine Big Date, the previous generation, also known as the good-looking generation, and I absolutely love it. Also, guys, don't forget to check out delraywatch.com. We've got a bunch of new inventory in stock, including a Rolex Yachtmaster with the sought-after blue dial, a Grand Seiko Elegance GMT, one of the most underrated GMTs on the market, and the last time we had it, it sold in a day, and a vintage IWC Doppel chronograph with the beautiful creamy tritium hour markers. This one's a real beauty. And also, guys, a bunch of other things. We also have the cheapest Audemars Piguet Royal Oak tourbillon blue dial in the world. And if you haven't seen our brand gear section at the top, go check it out. Lots of new stuff happening at delraywatch.com. The best place for a watch geek to buy a watch. Link in the description below. Anyway, guys, these are the questions you asked me. That's on my Instagram account at Federico Talks Watches. You know the spiel. Couple times a month, a Q&A picture pops up. You can ask your question. When I get enough questions, I take the picture down. Please do not DM me as I do not check them. Let's get into it in no particular order. Ante 808. Hey Fed, hope you're well. Thank you, brother. How do you choose a watch in the morning? What goes through your head? Honestly, not much. I obviously think if there's a special occasion, obviously if I'm going to a fancy dinner or a wedding, I pick through my dress watches. But generally, I just go into the safe, take out the watch box, say, look, what haven't I worn in a while? What strikes me as being fun today? And I just kind of pick at random. It's a mixture of wanting to give everything a little bit of attention, but also just going, you know what? I feel like wearing this today. And that's pretty much what I do. There's no kind of process to it unless I'm going to a special event. Richard Warren, 1919. What's your impression of Zodiac as a brand? Has Fossil's purchase of it cheapened the brand, or is the brand on the rise? This is pretty interesting. So, Richard, I think the brand is only on the rise, because before this, they were pretty much bankrupt. I mean, yeah, cool vintage stuff, but in modern times, Zodiac is very much on the rise. You know, interesting use of Fossil's in-house movements, great, like, limited edition heritage releases. I love their Seawolf GMT. Good-looking watches for not a ton of money for what you're getting. Very true to the brand's old heritage. Yes, you would expect Fossil to mess this up, but I actually think they're doing a pretty darn good job. Yannick Thibodeau. When is episode 1 of Federico Talks Travel? That is kind of on hold as Del Rey is expanding furiously. However, I do have a trip to Asia next month for watch buying. If you guys like the idea, not really vlogs because I don't have the time to do that, nor is it particularly safe to be talking about the type of business, you know, talking about expensive watches while I have them and vlogging in Asia. But if you guys want me to include a travel aspect, a few episodes about that trip, then I certainly will. Let me know in the comment section below. Kaswane999. What is the most beautiful movement you have ever seen? This one is easy. In real life, it has to be the Lange & Söhne double split. The double split, or any ones of their chronographs. Like even the datograph is beautiful, but beautiful, multi-layered, three-dimensional, hand finishing, fantastic finishing. I love how Lange finishes movements in their chronographs are truly a thing of beauty. Then Matatui asks, hey Fed, there's a well-known TikToker bashing Tissot and Swatch Group, specifically their movement quality. What have you experienced with regards to the Powermatic movements? Are they actually shit as he describes? This is an interesting question, and it depends who you ask. So I own a Tissot PRX, all right? I love my Tissot PRX, and the Powermatic movement in it has a few question marks, but you have to realize what you're buying. So the Powermatic 80 is basically a modified ETA 2824 with a longer power reserve. All that sounds great, and the escapement is pretty much made of plastic. So people say you can't regulate it, you can't service it. Bullshit. You can. So yes, regulation is next to impossible, but you can service it. Now, yeah, if the escapement breaks, you can't get a new one, right? And a lot of people don't service it because it's cheaper just to buy a new movement. But just because something's made out of plastic doesn't mean you can't remove it. And also, when a watch needs service, it's very rarely the escapement that breaks, right? So you have to realize the watch is under $1,000. The movement has certain features. The watch is certainly high quality case, dial, and design. What did you expect for under $1,000? So yeah, my point, Maratui, is I don't think it's shit at all. I just think you get what you pay for. A Swiss-made watch that has a semi-disposable movement for a price range that is more than fair at like almost half of it, just over $500-600. I don't know what this TikToker wants. I don't know what he expects. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, they could have put a normal 2824 that's fully serviceable, but are you really gonna service a $600 watch when a service is $200 to $300? Why not just wear it, and have the extended power reserve and the extra features, and chances are it might never need a service. Many movements, go through a very long life without needing a service. I've had no bad experiences with mine. I've seen no issues with them. The TikToker is not wrong. The movement is kind of designed to be disposable, but the watch is a certain price point. So I guess no, I don't think it should at all. I liked it enough to wear the fact that I actually spent my own money on one. I like it. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Please give this video a thumbs up. It really does help. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more content. And of course, we'll catch you in the next one. Take care.